Cheyenne, and I am going to be facing the crowd. I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and talk as clearly as I can, and I'm submitting everything word for word in writing at the end of it. All right, this is too high for you. I'm not going to comment about anything I found in the rules and regulations. I'm going to comment about what I did find. Throughout the entire document, there is not a single citation or reference to any scientific literature or publications. In fact, on the third page, it explicitly states, quote, published studies or reports and sources of underlying data used to compose this rulemaking, none, end quote. As a student in the sciences, I find this disrespectful at best, dangerous at worst. This is simply not acceptable. The information is available, and I demand that it be referred to when making decisions that affect the health and livelihood of the public and the land. Woo! On the first page of a search for scholarly journal articles, the first page, with the search term hydraulic fracturing, not a biased or specific search term, I found this information. The EPA admits that many recent reports of hydraulic fracturing suggest impacts to drinking water, end quote. I would like IDNR to cite this publication. Quote, hydraulic fracturing poses environmental risk to drinking water supplies, end quote. I would like IDNR to cite this publication. Quote, despite the risks that hydraulic fracturing poses to water supplies, the United States chose to significantly reduce federal involvement in fracturing regulations when Congress passed the Energy Policy Act of 2005, among others which have been mentioned, which specifically exempted underground injections from the Safe Drinking Water Act, end quote. I wonder why underground injections would need to be exempt from the SDWA unless it posed a threat to the drinking water, and I would like IDNR to address this when they cite this publication. Quote, quote, seismic activity is a known side effect of fracking. Seismologists believe, however, that a bigger danger is posed by the injection of this wastewater back into the earth because it can reach the fault line and cause more significant earthquakes. Multiple states have recently reported substantial earthquakes, some as high as 5.1 magnitude, end quote. An earthquake at this magnitude is expected to cause damage to poorly constructed buildings, like the Dug, may cause damage to all other buildings, and may result in casualties. I would like IDNR to cite this publication. I will now paraphrase a list of the most important, quote, the most important gaps and shortcomings, end quote, of hydraulic fracturing. Not enough reliable field data, not enough information on the role of fault zones. Models need to be established for the migration of fracturing fluid and brine. The movement of displaced brine needs to be quantified. Not enough is known about the release mechanisms of methane from the rock face, capillary pressure saturation relationships, and relative permeability.
You're going to have to slow down.
Okay, I'm just putting it in right. Capillary pressure saturation relationships and relative permeability saturation relationships need to be established for the migration of methane through the overburden. And models for the propagation and flow of fraction need to be improved. I would like IDNR to cite this publication.
If you want us to understand you, you're going to have to slow down.
Can you guys understand me? Yeah. Finally, from an analysis of the tentative fracking regulation, this is from an analysis of fracking regulations. Quote, a moratorium followed by dedicated national environmental standards directed at hydraulic fracturing would be the most appropriate and effective solution, end quote. I would like to see IDNR try to cite this publication in their rules and regulations on fracking.
15 seconds.
Although there's obviously much more information and problems, I don't have time to tell you everything in 4 minutes, but the conclusion is clear, it's dangerous, and a moratorium is needed. I have included my references at the bottom of this document. I encourage all of you to read and cite the scientific information about hydraulic fracturing, including the information presented by other people, which should have been done before the rules were drafted. You shouldn't have to do your homework for you. Yeah!